Welcome to Science 10 tutorial videos. Today we're going to look at nutrient cycles. The idea of the circle of life from Disney's The Lion King plays into the idea of nutrient cycles. The video shows how Simba and the other lions use nutrients to create and sustain themselves only to return nutrients back into the system at a later stage. You already know a lot about cycles and probably are familiar with the water cycle. The ocean water evaporates into the air as water vapor creates clouds that travel around the world. These clouds condense and precipitate rain and snow onto the land, and this water flows into streams, rivers, and lakes and eventually makes its way back into the ocean. More complicated diagrams showing a more accurate representation of what goes on in the water cycle, where water can evaporate at any point and can also form ice that gets locked up for millions of years, are also available. The carbon cycle is also similar. In its simplified state, carbon is removed from the atmosphere by plants in the process of photosynthesis. It is then eaten by animals, which use it for fuel, exhaling carbon dioxide in the process of cellular respiration. As Science 10 students, we think you are now ready for a more accurate model of the carbon cycle. Luckily, you don't have to memorize anything because this diagram is given to you in your Science 10 data booklet. You should keep this booklet with you when you do your assignments, write your quizzes, and study for your tests. There are a lot of moving parts in this diagram, but all we have to do is learn how to read them and we can answer any question that's given to us. The legend shows us that if the number is written in a box, it means it is a carbon store. Think of a carbon store as being a temporary lockup or storage place for carbon. There are also a number of arrows and ovals. These ovals show how much carbon is exchanged each year. A down arrow means that it stores carbon and an up arrow means that it releases carbon. All numbers are in gigatons. If we look at plant growth and decay, we see that 60 gigatons of carbon is released and 61 gigatons is stored. If we were to ask how does plant growth and decay contribute to atmospheric carbon levels, we would say that it reduces atmospheric carbon by 1 gigaton per year. This is a net reduction in atmospheric carbon. Human activities have an effect on the carbon cycle, and we have found evidence to support the theory of anthropogenic or human-influenced climate change. There are two main human-influenced processes that contribute to carbon in the atmosphere: the burning of fossil fuels and land use changes. Fossil fuel consumption is a major contributor to atmospheric carbon. We emit 5.5 gigatons of carbon per year directly in the atmosphere from our cars, trucks, factories, and heating fuels. We pump and mine carbon in the form of oil and coal that has been stored for millions of years, burn it with oxygen, and then spew that carbon directly into the atmosphere. Changes in land use also emit carbon into the atmosphere. This would include processes such as clearing forests for farms or subdivisions. I hope this tutorial helped bring some clarity to the carbon cycle. Please let us know if you have any further questions. You are now ready for the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles.